As I am guessing, most of you have marked your calendars for September 3rd through 6th. The 45th National Narrow Gauge Convention is going to be held at the Gateway Convention Center in Collinsville, Illinois. It's right across the river from St. Louis. We've got 35,000 square feet of convention hall rented out. 7 really good modular layouts are going to be there from big to small. We've got close to 70 vendors. A couple dropped out. It goes that way, but we've still got 25 great home layouts on tour. Um, I'll get into the other activities that we've got, like blood spatter analysis and the Miss Augusta cruise and things like that. But if you've ever wondered about the St. Louis area, it's where I'm from. No end of great restaurants, no end of things to do. It's not just a good narrow gauge convention location, but it's also a great vacation destination. So check out the website, www.45thNNGC.com, and join us in September. And remember, this is where, on October 7th through 10th, 1981, it's where the very first National Narrow Gauge was held. There's our website. Now, when you get onto the website, don't forget to scroll down. You see all the goodies. So if you click on convention activities, you're going to get a menu pop up. Scroll down and then click again, and it'll get you into that activity. Schedule, it's going to show you the general schedule. Scroll down a little bit, and it'll show you the detailed schedule. Same thing with hotels, same thing with registrations, all that. So that's the website. Okay, Chuck, you want to talk about vendors?
So, like Steve said, we're right at a little bit under 70 vendors. We've had a couple drop out, and we've had a couple come in at the last minute. So that works out well. I'm trying to think. We've got the usual cast of vendors. We've got some new ones.
Well, there's a lot more 3D going on as far as what people have to sell. We've got, as Chuck said, the usual, but we've got a full hall. There's only a few tables left over that are unsold vendor tables. I think we were down to, was it 7 tables left to go, Chuck?
Yeah, it was 7 this morning.
That's what I thought.
Anyway.
Still not letting me do it. It's letting me do it with the mouse.
There.
Okay.
Go to modules.
Okay, I'll go to modules anyway. 7 modular groups from large to small. The Mud Hens, of course, we're not the group sponsoring the convention, but just about everybody on the committee is part of the Mud Hens, so why not? Anyway, so we're going to have our modules there. The Old Club Loop is there. The Chicago tables are there. You'll see something a little different that we do. We invite the public to come and operate on our modular layout. It's not a hands-off thing. So if you see that photo of young Matthew there in the lower right, that was in Kansas City. I think he must be about 19 or 20 years old by now. So, but it's not all about big modular groups. This is, I showed you guys this when it was still in pink foam. This is the Springfield, Illinois ON 30 group. This is pretty much designed and built by Anthony Salvaggio, and he put a lot of work into it. It's got a huge helix running up and down inside this thing, and it's one great big module on wheels that wheels off the trailer. Now, a little bit of a aerial view of his turntable and engine house area. You could see some of the details he puts into this. Just a great modeler. And we go on to clinics. Those aren't the only modules that are going to be there, by the way. There's lots of them. We've got a full schedule of clinics, unless you want to cover clinics.
I can cover clinics.
Go ahead.
We have clinics that are obviously very tailored to narrow gauge. We have an O&W clinic that goes through the history. We also have clinics that are more broadly, no pun intended, hands-on. One that I think is going to be really interesting is Barnum and Bailey's circus trains in the 20s, how they organized and loaded and unloaded and moved from town to town. That's going to be a clinic. Next generation of model railroaders. This one is going to prove interesting. What does the folks who are coming after us, what do they look like? What are their interests? And what might we be able to help them with? I think that's going to be an interesting, rather thoughtful clinic, as a matter of fact. We always have an eBay clinic. Someone this time is going to tell us how to monetize the collection and get it shown on eBay and make the most money out of it. I think those are Gary Hoover, who's one of those broad gauge modelers who does phenomenal work, and is a professional photographer, is going to do a clinic. He's done 6 layouts over his career, but he's going to talk about what he's done and learned over those 6 layouts over the years. So that ought to be an interesting clinic as well. A clinic on what not to do again. Mud hens have been there, believe me. Those are just some of the clinics. Like I said, they're 60 plus. All of them, all except one, are being offered twice so that you can make your schedule work around. All right, on to what was the next one? There you are. Layout tours. And I have that one too. What do you know? This is Richard Ranz's mineral in South Fork in ON30. For those who have a long history, Richard is living in Bob Ranz's house. And this was the beginnings of an HON3 railroad with Bob. And after he passed, Richard took over the room and moved it to ON30. Has a great layout and really well done. Next slide. And of course, Pete Smith. We don't know who he is, but understand he does a Pacific Northwest set of layout and has done an incredible job with it. Pete, there's a brewing company on this layout, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I want to be over there because I want to have some of Pete's private brew. Jerry McCormick is in HON. Oh, this is Randy Meyer. I'm looking at the wrong. This is SN3. Randy has some S standard gauge as well. Part of his railroad is the exit of the Arkansas River Canyon, and so he doesn't have the whole Royal Gorge in it because it would be what, 23 feet tall or something. But he does have the exit from it, as well as a lot of narrow gauge. Next slide. There's Gary Hoover's N&W, and he's going to talk about what he's learned to get here. I don't know, many of you probably saw his Santa Fe, I think it was over Raton Pass that he did years ago. And it was beautiful layout then, and now he's doing Norfolk and Western. So going to be a good layout to go to. Chuck Graham's 4th Division. This is another one that has a little bit of standard gauge. This is an HO. He has the Alamosa Yard on his local level, lower level. And he's working to get some of that scenery done, finished up. The layout's almost completely done, but he does have Coombers Pass. He does have Chama Yard, as a matter of fact, started out as a Mud Hens module years ago. And next. And of course, John Kalin's. This is a good view. I think is this, help me, Placerville? No.
Telluride.
Thank you. Oh, that's right, Telluride. And you can see the backdrop again that's a gray, isn't it, John?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And of course, Kalin's a trestle builder. So beautiful, beautiful trestles. All of them full size, I think. Oh, and Steve, do you want to do those? You want me to go ahead and do the prototypes too?
I'll start going through it. Amstead Rail, if you look on these 4 pictures, the upper left-hand corner, you've got Amstead Rail. That is a foundry and manufacturing facility. We have a guided tour of it. It will require that you sign up in advance. If you've got steel-toed boots, safety glasses, hearing protection, hard hat, things like that, bring them with you, because this is a very up close and personal tour. You're going to be actually on the foundry floor watching them go through the process of manufacturing. They make trucks, brakes, they make anything railroad related, and they make it right there at the plant. Next one on the right, I believe, is Gateway Rail Services. They started out with a lot of private varnish cars, old passenger cars. And as that collection grew, they got into commercial repair of those and restoration of passenger equipment. Metro East Industries in the lower left, that is a huge facility. It's kind of parallel to the Cahokia Airport across the river from downtown St. Louis. Something like 115 acres of facility there. They do heavy repair on all manner of Class 1 railroad equipment, locomotive repair, car repair, you name it, they do it. And then, oh, I'm having a mental block, Chuck, on the
Continental Fabricators.
what is it?
Continental Fabricators.
Continental, that's right, Continental Fabricators. Now shown there is a narrow gauge boiler. We can't guarantee they got a narrow gauge boiler in the shop when we go in there, but once again, this is a very up close and personal tour. You're going to see what they manufacture in there. They do make boilers, steam generators, things like that for the railroads. So all of these, we've got more tours than this in the works. You got to check out our website, but all of these are a very unique, very interesting how they actually do it in the real world type of tour. Now for non-rail, this was very entertaining to the crowd in Pittsburgh when I presented this, but downsizing your home is one of them. So your spouse may be learning things about downsizing that you're not learning. I don't know. Non-rail presentations with guest speakers include several of them. Maybe it's your medication is one, estate planning basics. So what happens when I'm gone? Downsizing made easy. Blood spatter analysis at a crime scene. Now, this is one of the most fascinating ones. I think that's going to get a lot of us, not just our spouses, looking in on that one. All aboard the genealogy train. Can your DNA put your relative in jail or keep them out of jail? New announcements. The world of small animals, tips for selling your home, and many more. We also have an interesting thing. What would a trip to the city of rivers be without a river cruise? Out in wine country in Augusta, Missouri, we've got the Miss Augusta lined up. And so far, 26 people have signed up, and we still got room. We had enough people to get the bigger bus. So we got room for, I think, 48. So sign up for the Miss Augusta cruise. It's fine dining at its best. And pay no attention to the all aboard 501. We're way over 520 now. I might even be over 530. But we've got 25 people signed up for Amstead Rail, 13 for Continental Fabricators, 15 for Gateway Rail Services, and 12 for Metro East Industries. And I believe Amstead is a maximum of 30, so there's 5 openings. Continental Fabricators, I think, Chuck, aren't all these 30 people on a tour maximum?
Gateway is more, Gateway Rail Services,
Okay.
but yeah, Continental and Amstead, Metro East is 30 as well.
Okay. Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific Live Steam, 38 people have signed up. There's no limit to that, and that's on Saturday. So keep that in mind. And they are 15-inch gauge live steam. And I wish I'd have put the other slide I had for them in here because it was really a nice one. Anyway, 26 people, as I mentioned, are signed up for Miss Augusta. I believe right now we have 11 signed up for Make and Take. Interestingly, there's going to be 11 young people at this convention, and I'm hoping for many more.
Steve, the WF&P is you ride the train.
Yes, you ride the train. It's live steam, it's 15-inch gauge. It'll take you for a ride, and it's 2 miles of track. I think it's along the old Frisco right away. I'm not sure which right away it is, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And those live steams, they operate like a regular steam engine. They got a boiler under pressure and use the steam to drive the train. There's not a, Briggs and Stratton engine underneath the thing pedaling it along like at the zoo. So, and speaking of the zoo, St. Louis has one of the best. We also have some of the best Italian food in the country. We also have one of the best botanical gardens in the country. So it's an easy sell for your family to get them to go to St. Louis for vacation. And I think we've left enough time that we can open it up to questions and answers, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Sure,
Someone
Steve.
do that.
This is Mark. One quick comment in the comment section from Bill Hobbs. He says estate planning for wives is probably going to be packed given the age of our attendees. So if you could stop your share, Steve, so we can see your shining face, you and Chuck.
Hang on, I'm working on that. And stop share.
Very good. All
Now
right.
can you see my shiny face?
Yeah, we can. So any questions from the peanut gallery? Well, I hope everybody is signed up, ready to go, and be in St. Louis come September